world, what is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte. We are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. Today is Valentine's Day. I couldn't fathom a better guest. She's been inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame, on the air for over 25 years, and is the most listened to woman on American radio. Because of her natural warmth, her positive energy, and insistence that we all just be a little more kind to one another, it is with great excitement and joy that we kick off today with the one, the only, Delilah, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, make some noise.
I'm loving the red Valentine kicks.
Oh, thank you so much.
Those rock.
You rock.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really appreciate that, and I said it backstage. I'll say it again. I'm so excited you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. And you said backstage that your wife loves Christmas, our Christmas show.
You keep us sane.
Yeah.
You have been the soundtrack to many stressful drives to the mall and back around Christmas time, just keeping us.
I'm Santa's secret weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. You make the holiday season survivable. Is what you do.
Yeah, we start actually working on our Christmas shows in like September.
Do you
August,
really?
September, yeah. We start listening to all the new Christmas music. It's crazy because you have 6 weeks where every artist in the world is releasing a Christmas album. So we start getting those like in July and August. And
wild.
Checking them out. Yeah.
What has that? We're going to talk about Valentine's Day, but we've gone down this path. I want to keep going here. What has that done to Christmas music and Christmas for you?
I stinking love Christmas.
Still love it.
I love it because I have kids, and Christmas is just one of those magical. I mean, when you've gone through a horrific loss like our family did, the holidays are really hard because it's that reminder of who's not there, and who's. But we still put Zach's stocking up, and we still put Sammy's stocking up. But the holidays are magical, and we've got so many traditions that it's just it's a special time.
And we're going to have you come back around Christmas just to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. First of all, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. I was saying I was so excited for you to be here. I would say second only to Christmas, this is Delilah Day for a lot of people.
It is Delilah Day. It's Delilah Day for a lot of reasons, not just because I am the queen, the undisputed queen of sappy love songs, but because my birthday is tomorrow. And so my whole life growing up, my mom celebrated my birthday on Valentine's Day. And I thought it was all about me.
Everyone's doing this for me.
Yeah, it's like go to school and everybody's handing me cards because they love me.
That's kind of magical.
It is.
When did that bubble
When you're a narcissist, it works.
What grade was it when you realized, oh, hang on a second. Only half of these have my name on them.
It hasn't happened yet. Don't burst my...
I don't want to be the one to do that then.
No.
Well, I had...
It's like I have a granddaughter whose birthday is the 4th of July, and it was like last year she finally realized that those fireworks weren't just for her.
That's adorable, but also I don't want her to think that. I want her to forever live in that bubble.
Think that the fireworks are just for her.
It's such a sweet thought.
Nadia Jean.
Within reason. You don't want her to be like 32, like 33, like my age, be like, everybody quiet, those are my fireworks.
Those are my fireworks.
You don't want that. So there is a cutoff. There is a certain point. Well, first of all, in my copious amounts of research, I didn't come across that tomorrow is your birthday. So
not just my birthday, but my husband's birthday too.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, my youngest daughter is 10. She thinks I'm 39.
Well,
we're gonna keep it that way, right?
Yeah, we won't let her. She doesn't watch the. I don't believe your youngest daughter doesn't watch the show, so we should be all right.
No, she's not allowed screen time.
Oh, really?
No.
So you're you're on radio too, so I guess that doesn't limit her ability to listen to your show.
We don't have a TV in our house, and my kids aren't allowed devices until they're in high school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No TV in the house, so no movie nights or anything like that.
Oh, we do have, my godson has a projector that he brings over.
Nice.
And we have a family movie night, usually 2 or 3 times a month.
That's amazing.
We just watched the new Tim Tebow movie. We got an early release of that. Oh, cool. And nobody warned me about the sadness in it, so I was a blubbering mess. But... yeah, we watch family movies.
I get like that with any movie about a dog.
Yeah.
I gotta know. I gotta know going in if the dog makes it. I can't watch it.
Dog movies. When I was in grade school, I grew up in a tiny little community. There were 60 kids in our whole school. And they would show movies in the auditorium, in the gymnasium, and they showed Bambi.
With no warning, I'm sure.
With no warning.
That's a rough one to experience as a group as well, a group of children. So that stuck with you.
A lot of my kids don't even like going to movies with me.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, Mom, you're not going to start crying like you did in Toy Story, are you? Yeah, probably.
It's a safe bet.
Oh, it is. The Toy Story 3, when they're going down the
When they all accept their fate. Have you ever seen? Okay, so hang on a second. We're going to go down this rabbit hole now. Somebody, some brilliant individual online, took Toy Story 3. Their mother had never seen it, and he edited it so that the credits roll right before the claw comes down in that scene. Have you seen this video?
No.
Oh, you've got to watch it. They can't believe it. For those that have seen Toy Story, you understand what a cruel but brilliant joke that is.
That is very cruel.
It's worth looking up.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to give you, but you know how the internet works. Get out there and find that video.
I'll find that.
So that's really fascinating that the seeds were planted so early on for Valentine's Day to be so significant for you in your life, and that it goes back that far. How far back?
Like if I had been born a few hours earlier, my name would have been Valerie Renee instead of Delilah Renee.
Yeah, but would the jingle be as good at that point?
I don't know. Try it. Sing it.
Let's see. Valerie. No, I don't know. It's
No,
Delilah. It's got to be the. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I want.
So
I mean, I'm sure you'd pull it off. Let's go a little bit further down the line, though. So you're born.
okay, wait a second.
Valentine's
You
Day
want to know
happens?
something cool
I
about
do.
that jingle?
Please tell me something about the jingle.
Guess who sings that jingle now?
Who sings that?
My daughter.
Really?
My Shayla baby girl.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's her voice.
That's so beautiful.
It is.
Is that? Did you put her up to that, or did she come to you and say, "I want to do
dragged
that"?
her. Yeah. I voluntold her. She
I
was
like that.
voluntold for that.
Voluntold.
My kids are voluntold for a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you have their best interests at heart, I'm sure. And you wanted her to be on the jingle. That's a nice thing.
And she's so dang talented.
Yeah. Has she come around and she thanked you for putting her on the jingle?
Oh, heck no. No. No.
Let me ask you this. You have such a beautiful family and a large family as well. When I was growing up, it was always something, you did something for Mom for Valentine's Day. Do you get a lot of individual cards? Do they all work together on one giant card? How does that work for you?
It's individual cards.
Nice.
I actually brought some. They're backstage someplace. But where I live, we had a little snowmageddon thing going on for a while. So my kids were out of school for way too long. And I had gone to the craft store and bought a whole bunch of Valentine's stuff like a few weeks ago. So we made a lot of Valentine's cards. My daughter handmade a card for every student in her class. And so she and her two friends that had sleepovers night after night did Valentine's cards for me, and they're so cute.
You just have your house just filled with sheets of construction paper with folded in half with little hearts cut out of them.
Hearts cut out, construction paper, and glitter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
glitter
and
everywhere.
then I have a friend named Aaron who is into sequins, so we have sequins and glitter. And
Oh, what a dangerous combo! Sequins and glitter.
and you never get it off the floor. It's just
It's there forever.
forever.
Are you This Is Us fan at all? Do you watch this?
Oh,
Did you see the glitter? Yeah, the sequence fight. It was a great episode. Here's what I want to ask you.
I have not watched a series since George Clooney was in ER.
Really? Well, why? What was it about George Clooney? I mean, that's a dumb question. What is it about George Clooney? But at the time, we didn't know that at the time that George Clooney was George Clooney.
I knew that.
You knew from day one.
From day one.
You've been on board
it's
from
like
the very
Brad Pitt
beginning.
when he was, in Thelma and Louise. You know when you see that you know.
That's true. Brad Pitt didn't show up and people went, let's see where this goes. We
Yeah.
all knew right away. Yeah.
So I have not actually watched the series since George Clooney was a regular on ER until This Is Us. Really? And I am so pathetic.
Is Milo?
It's like a 2 box of tissue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't watch that without at least 2 boxes. Now, in the same way that George Clooney brought you to ER, what does Milo Ventimiglia do for you?
It's not just
not
Milo.
that.
It's the whole cast. Like do you guys watch This Is Us? Anybody here?
Yeah,
The
there we
girls
are.
are all
Okay,
nodding
yeah.
their head. The guys are like, "What are you talking about?"
You guys are pretending not to. Everybody watches this show, so go on.
So it's the whole cast.
Yeah.
And
Everyone's great.
if you take one of the characters out, I don't really like like each character, there's things about them you really don't like.
Yeah.
But together and the family dynamic, it's so powerful and so well written.
No, it really is. It's a great show. I don't want to stray too far from the reason for the season here for today. I had a really important Valentine's Day question I wanted to ask you. Big controversy this year. For the first time ever, the Necco company has not put out the conversation hearts, the candy hearts.
What the hell are they? Can I say that on
You
your
can say anything.
show?
It's the internet. Go nuts.
What the hell are they thinking? How can you not put out the candy hearts?
No candy hearts.
No candy hearts. That is, it's an atrocity. It's wrong. It's wrong on every level.
It has impacted a lot of people in a very big way. Have you tried to fill the void of the candy heart this year? Do you have a backup candy that you go to?
Well, I have. So my secret weapon is my mom's heart-shaped cookie cutter. And then when you use the heart-shaped cookie cutter, and I have a really simple sugar cookie recipe that takes, a few minutes to make, and then you throw it in the fridge, and then you roll out. You can write whatever the hell you want on those hearts. Yeah. So you just make your own, basically.
So you have your own custom candy heart situation that you got.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you have that under. Is that the same cookie cutter? I saw a video on Facebook. You're like, I'm all ready for Valentine's.
Oh, I am
I've got
so
my
ready.
Cookie cutters.
Got the cookie cutters.
You got it ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
the cookie cutter is because you can trace around it and make, paper Valentines.
Not just for cookies.
It's not just for cookies. Pancakes, if you're not good at free-handing heart-shaped pancakes, which, by the way, I'm really good at, you can just stamp those puppies out with a cookie cutter.
What's the secret to heart-shaped pancakes?
I'm an artist.
Oh, okay. The secret is Delilah.
I do airplane pancakes. I do dinosaur pancakes. I do butterfly, yeah.
Are you working freehand?
I'm freehand, baby.
That's impressive.
One of my talents. I can also write with my toes. I am so full of talent here.
Let's go down that path. How does one discover? I guess a lot of time in the studio. Eventually you realize, look what I can do. Look at this. That's a perfect cursive C. Look at that. How did you arrive?
Some of these guys just aren't laughing at all. Have you ever tried to write with your toes? I can write upside down, backwards, and left-handed.
They're not laughing because they take it very seriously. We have it's
a toe writing.
It's the toe writing consortium that's taking place here just after us.
Yeah.
And so they've come in early, and we're making fun of their livelihood.
I actually
That's what we're
wanted to
doing.
be on David Letterman's Stupid Human Tricks.
What held you back?
I tried. I wrote to him. I sent videos to him. I was like, come on, give me a shot.
You know where you veered? You had to do that while making the dinosaur pancake.
That's it.
That's the combo. You got to do two things.
I sent him videos of the dinosaur pancakes. I sent him videos of drawing a picture with my feet. But he didn't bite. Now he's gone.
Speaking of
these Jimmy guys, all they want is somebody who can sing.
You can't sing?
Not a note.
That's why you brought your daughter in to do the jingle.
Exactly.
There you go. That makes
Not
sense.
even with that auto-tuner thing.
No? It doesn't work for you? So I imagine you've tried that.
Haven't I, though? I'm just like, let me on that. Let me do carpool karaoke. No, it's not going to happen.
I also saw recently you were not petitioning, but you were calling out Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
The Rock.
To come in because you started working out.
To let me be a Titan.
Let you be a Titan. You want to be the Titan?
I'm up to like 17 setups now, I think.
You just
Maybe
put it out
18.
in the universe.
Yeah.
Something's got to stick.
Something.
Famous
somehow.
I was looking at, I was talking about that video where I saw your cookie cutters and all that sort of stuff. One of the things that blew me away was there's so many comments, so many people writing in, because you were saying get your requests in, get this in, and some people just sharing stories, even through the comments.
Yeah.
And you responded to a startling number of them. You were interacting with so many people. First and foremost, how do you find the time to maintain that relationship with your listeners? How do you
Well,
do that?
I answer while I'm on the air in the studio at night, so I'm going back and forth between, the internet really is, for my show, what the request lines were in the 70s and 80s. It's immediate because the request line, and I'm also answering the request lines, but like I get feedback. If I say something on the air, within like 30 seconds, somebody's commenting on the internet. So that's what that instant feedback to keep the show really live.
How has that method of communication, the instead of talking to you but typing to you, being able to do it instantaneously, how has that impacted the relationship you have with your listeners, who have always been very open with you?
I think it's just another layer. It's just another way of connecting. I mean, my listeners are awesome. They really are.
Yeah.
I stinking love my fans.
Have over the years, has somebody shared? Has there been a story that's stuck with you amongst the hundreds, thousands of stories, maybe even millions? Who knows? You've been doing hours and hours.
You have to understand my whole life. Like, I don't compartmentalize, so I don't have the Delilah show and then the Delilah life. My producer, who's been with me for almost 3 decades, I met through my show. She was producing another radio show in town in Boston, and I stole her because I met her through the show. And she is an adoptive mom, and she connected with the birth mom that she adopted her child from through the show. So everything is interconnected. It's interwoven. It's not separate. Like, I don't go to work and then go home and leave work at work and home at home. It's all very woven together.
It's pretty amazing. Tell me then where the podcast fits in, because you just recently rebranded it. You gave it a new
Rebranded our podcast.
Yeah.
We started the podcast last year, but last year was the hardest year of my life, and I just had no energy and no ability to concentrate. Like, my concentration down. I didn't drive for 6 months. I couldn't. And so this year I'm feeling a little stronger, and that's why I want Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to.
Who does, not unlike your daughter, he does watch the show.
Yeah.
Yes, Dwayne does watch the show. We know that. No.
I think maybe 25 setups even. Yeah. Anyway, squirrel. This year we have rebranded the podcast, and I have hired a fabulous executive producer. Well, not really hired. I kind of voluntold. My sister is the executive producer now of my podcast. Wow. And so we're kind of taking it a different direction. Last year, all the guests were either recording artists or authors or really famous people. And this year, we're still going to have the recording artists and authors, but probably 60-70% of the guests in our podcast will be everyday people doing extraordinary things to change the world one heart at a time.
And what's the name of the podcast? What's the rebranding?
It's Love Someone.
Love Someone.
With Delilah.
With Delilah. Perfect.
And the whole series will be talking to people about how they engage in life to use their gifts and talents and skills to love people in a very powerful way.
It's pretty amazing. What for you? What itch is that scratching creatively that you're not
being cut off?
Yeah.
And I can talk for more than 3 minutes at a segment.
There we go. So
there you go.
About it. It's kind of complete freedom.
It is. It is complete freedom. We have no time restraints. If I want to talk to somebody for 15 minutes, I can. If I want to talk to them for 2 hours, I can. And people love that about podcasts. That. We go a lot deeper. What you guys hear on the air when you listen to my show and you hear the dedications is 3 minutes of a conversation that was probably 10 or 15 minutes. Wow. And so my producers have to decide which 3 minutes get to make it on the air. But there's so much backstory. That's why I love This Is Us, because you get the backstory and the backstory. And you miss so much of the backstory of my show because it ends up being edited out. And that is some of the best stuff. The really good stuff, like who do you love and why do you love them? But then when you get the backstory that they met in high school and then they reconnected at their class reunion, but all you're getting is the 3-minute version. So the podcast is allowing us to do the backstory and go deeper and dig deeper. Like our first one was just released on Tuesday with Michael Bublé. And I've had him on my show since he was 19 years old. I met Michael when he was 19. And he's been to my house. I mean, he's just a dear friend. But it's always been in little 3 or 4 minute snippets. And to be able to talk about his son and what he went through, he and his wife, and to talk about the joy he's found in being a daddy and how his music has changed him was really awesome.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, and I'm really excited to see where the podcast goes. And I've already subscribed, of course.
Thank you.
There's no such thing as too much Delilah. I got to go to the audience in a little bit, but there was one last thing I wanted to do before we did that. One of the things you're, of course, known for, you self-proclaimed queen of
fancy
sappy love
pancakes.
songs. Yeah, that too. Besides that, is knowing exactly what song to pick, what song to play. You always have the right recommendation, the dedication. You're so good at that. And so what I wanted to try, I really want to put the skills to the test. I want to make you sweat a little bit. Don't be nervous, though. I'm going to throw a couple scenarios your way, and I want you to tell me a recommended song.
Oh, geez.
You think we could do this?
We can try.
Let's try it. I'm going to start with a softball.
I get brain dead, though.
It's okay.
Okay.
You can even hum it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Obviously, he didn't hear me talking about how I can't sing.
No, I just really want to hear it anyway. So the first one, softball, the easy one right here. Young Love, first year together. Couldn't be happier. It's their first Valentine's Day. Good song.
First Valentine's Day. How old?
Let's say.
So we got to know how old, because when you're 17 and it's Young Love, that's one song.
Give me that song.
You know, that's got to be
Give me
something
Young
by
Love.
Katy Perry or something by, even Cardi B.
Yeah.
But I can't play that on my show.
No, that wouldn't fit in with Delilah's.
No, but if you're a more mature person and you've been kicked around a little bit, been around the block 3 times, maybe 4, then it's like Next Time I Fall, or something that says this is it. This you are the one.
That's a great segue into my follow-up here. We did Young Love. I got Old Love. 2 octogenarian lovebirds. Okay, these are old people.
They're old along with me.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. See, I knew you'd be nailing this. Here's a specific one, all right? So I'm in jail, and I want to send...
What did you do?
Oh, can I say it on the radio? Can I say what I did in jail on the Delilah show? I know I could say it here.
Yeah.
All right. I stole an exorbitant amount of antique stamps.
That doesn't get you in jail, honey.
You don't know how many stamps it was. I'm talking a lot of stamps.
My son's a cop, baby. You ain't going to jail for stamps.
Okay, well, I'm gonna call your son. I'm gonna tell him how many stamps. I'm gonna see what he says. I want an expert on the law.
Yeah.
These were rare stamps. All right. Anyway, so I'm in jail.
You're in jail.
Established that.
Yeah, if you're in jail for stealing stamps, you got a whole lot of other problems, babe.
I couldn't pick a lamer thing, by the way.
Okay,
Stealing stamps. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? I'm in jail. I stole a car. The stamps were in a car that I stole. Does that make you feel better about it?
Still not going to jail for that.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
I want to send a crystal clear message to my pen pal. They've been writing me letters. And she's really sad that I'm in jail. She is sad about the stamp debacle. She doesn't think it was justified that I'm behind bars. We've known each other. We've exchanged many letters. I want to send a song to her, letting her know I'm thinking about her.
Waiting for a girl like you.
Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, you're not going to have to wait very long.
No, no, it's not a long sentence.
Not to start anything political, but you do have a little privilege.
I have just a little?
Yeah.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah, you're not going to be
I'm sitting here in a grandpa sweater talking about stealing stamps. I think I'm wearing my privilege on my friggin' sleeve right now, Delilah. Let's go. I'm a huge animal person. I know you are as well. So this is a sweet one. Valentine's Day love in all forms. It's just me and my dog tonight. That's not true. I have a lovely wife. We're going to have a wonderful evening. But again, this is a made-up scenario.
Me and you and a dog named Boo.
Oh, I love that.
Traveling and living off the land.
Fantastic. Okay.
Do you know there's a song named Shannon that's about a dog that died?
Oh, no.
It's from the 70s. It's one of those pathetic, sappy songs, but it's about a dog that died.
Wait, is it...
Shannon is going away.
Shannon's the name of the dog?
Yeah.
We have a host here named Shannon who I absolutely adore. I was really excited when you started that sentence. I got really sad by the end of it.
I got a song for everything.
Don't tell Shannon about that song if you meet her today. She's wonderful. All right, last one. This is highly specific and weird. I try to do something for my mom every year, but this year she's accidentally flushed one of my exotic fish down the toilet. So now there's tension there. I want to say Happy Valentine's Day, but I don't want her to think I've forgiven her.
Why haven't you forgiven her? Go buy another damn fish.
It's a really nice fish.
Really, my mom's dead. You need to forgive her.
Fair enough. Damn, Delilah, why you gotta make it real?
Then you need to play John Tash's Mama song.
Well done, Delilah.
Or Boys to Men.
Which Boyz II Men song?
The Mama song.
The Mama, naturally.
Yeah.
Dumb question. My
Yeah.
bad. Okay, fair enough. Okay, we're gonna go to the audience. Before we do, I wanted to. It is Valentine's Day, and I wanted to present you with this because you do rock. And happy Valentine's Day, and thank you for being here and hanging out with us. Let's go ahead. Let's throw it over to our beautiful audience. We've got some questions out there. First question is gonna be right over here with the microphone. Go for it.
What is your favorite and what's the most challenging part of your job?
Oh, gee, Manee. Favorite is obvious. I love talking to my listeners. I stinking love talking to my listeners. And every night it's something new. You know, you think you've heard everything, and then somebody will blow you away. I do get a lot of prison mail. And the stories are very tragic. And I love the men and women that have made bad choices, and a lot of them haven't made bad choices. So...
What do you think it is about your show that resonates and why you get, as you said, a lot of prison mail? Why do you get a lot?
Well, I try to be a voice of hope, you know, whatever your situation is. No matter what you call me with, no matter what you're going through, I always try to find a nugget of hope. Because when you lose hope, you lose everything. And so the whole show, I mean, it sounds corny, but every night before I go on the air, my producer Janie and I pray and ask God to let the people get through, either on the internet or the phone lines, that need to talk to somebody, that have a message to share. And if there's somebody listening who is hurting, you know, let my voice be. You know, Mother Teresa said one time, I want to be the pencil that God uses to write a love letter to the world. And I want to be the voice that he uses to speak that love into the world.
That is a beautiful sentiment. We're going to do one more question, but real quick before we do, you have always been that voice and that beacon of hope. Do you recall the moment you were inspired or the impetus for that voice? Were you just always naturally an optimistic or a positive person?
I'm pretty
who saw
pathetic. Like my kids say, Mom, how do you know the woman who's talking to you through the McDonald's speaker? How do you know her? I'm like, because I come and get an iced tea every day, and I know her story, and I know her kids, and I know her grandkids. They're like, you are so weird. You will talk to anybody. I was born this way.
There are worse traits to have than talk to anybody. It's nice to be able to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I talk to people at the grocery store.
Unsolicited?
Unsolicited, yeah.
You're trying to figure out if the fruit's ripe or not, and you slide in there?
I can't stand it. I have to talk to you.
All right, well, that's perfect because we have one more question from one person who wants to talk to you. So come on down. Go for it.
Hi, Delilah.
Hello.
So my question is, you've been doing this for a really long time.
Really long time. Even though my daughter thinks I'm 39.
But what are some of like the trends that you're seeing or things that are on people's minds now as opposed to maybe when you started
You know,
out?
I have been doing this for so long, and the thing that I have noticed, thank you for asking that. That's a really good question. And it's the reason that I wrote One Heart at a Time, because the thing that I've noticed is even though we have more devices to stay more connected, people are lonelier and feel more disenfranchised and more divided than ever before in the 44 years I've been on the air. Like, it's this tension, this vile, ugly, angry, and even, you know, my listeners are awesome. And when I post something, you know, people usually respond in a very positive way. But the trollers and the haters who say the cruelest things about my children, about, you know, my life choices, about other people's life choices, I'm just like, are you for real? That could not, I'll air a call that's so nice, so kind, and somebody will think that they want to, you know, have the right to go on the internet and say, well, you know, they're not even married, or, you know, that's clearly a same-sex couple. And I'm like, are you for real? People are expressing love for one another, and you're going to write something hateful. But it's right now, I think, more than ever in the history of our country, there is this divisiveness, and it's on purpose. It's engineered. It's not an accident. The people who are being haters and tweeting hateful things, and the leaders and the whole fake media, fake news stuff that's turning people against each other is on purpose. It's not on accident. And everybody's buying into it. You got to stop. And you got to say, you know what? What can I do to show love to somebody, to not buy into the negativity. Do you know how many people in my family and my circle of friends I've had to snooze or delete because I don't want negativity in my life? You are what you read. You are what you consume. You are what you listen to. You are the music that you listen to. If you're listening to hateful stuff that's putting women down, how can you say that's art? That's not art. That's not freedom of speech. That's mean. Stop. Stop being mean. Just be nice. Our mama told us years ago, if you can't say something nice, what?
Don't steal stamps.
Don't steal stamps.
Don't say it at all. Don't say it at all. If you can't say something nice, don't say it at all.
What happened to that golden rule?
No.
Treat others as you want to be treated.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question, by the way. That was a beautiful question. And it's a great place to tie things up. And I want to ask one final question about that. I've had a lot of conversations recently about this divide, about the negativity and the energy that's out there. Are you obviously optimistic, but are you sensing a groundswell of the pendulum swinging the other way, of people kind of tired of being angry? Have you felt any of that yet?
I hope so. And we've posted something, it's silly, but you know the ice bucket challenge we did a few years ago? Mm-hmm. We have the Delilah challenge called the One Heart Challenge, where I'm just asking people to raise their right hand. Go ahead, raise your right hand and say, Delilah, I promise I will not post anything, respond to anything, say anything to somebody's face, or better yet, behind their back, that is not motivated by kindness and love.
Delilah, I promise that I will not post
anything, respond to anything, say anything, or talk about somebody behind their back that's not motivated by kindness or love. What if everybody did that? What if every person in positions of authority did that?
I think the world would be a happier place.
Yeah.
And then maybe, just maybe, NECA will bring back the candy hearts.
There you go. That's what we need to do.
That's what this was all about from the very beginning, Delilah. This was.
I like the Necco wafers, the black licorice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
those too. They need us more than ever right now.
They do.
I can't thank you enough. This was so much fun. I hope you had fun hanging out with us.
I had fun.
All right, that's wonderful. I hope you guys had fun. You were a wonderful audience. Thank you for your questions and being here. I want to remind everybody, One Heart at a Time is out now, and there's a fantastic audiobook as well. So if you truly can't get enough Delilah, you can download that, and she'll read the book to you. The podcast, we just changed the name of the podcast
Love
to
Someone.
Love Someone.
Love Someone with Delilah. We just had Michael Bublé. We're going to have Tim Tebow, and I don't know if you guys have been following the story. There's a man that was incarcerated for like 50, 60 years, and he was innocent. And so my sister's tracking him down, and we're going to talk about that and try to change the system. Because, again, if you do it in shove, you're not going to do anything. But if you do it in love, we can change the system, and we can bring about equality and fairness and kindness.
That's the beautiful spot to end it. Everybody, please make a ridiculous amount of noise. Happy Valentine's Day to one and all. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Thank you, Delilah.